In the last class, we saw microscopes. We saw two types of microscopes. Um, when it comes to your telescope, your HCV may have, I've started the recording, thank you. Your HCV may have 2-3 types, but if you look at your NCRT, there's only one type. And since your mains exam is based on the NCRT, we limit ourselves to that one single type of telescope called as an astronomical telescope. Mains exam is based on your NCRT. Anything outside the NCRT won't come in your exam. All right. So now telescope thoda sa revise kar lenge. Even as we talk about telescopes, we see that the magnification of a telescope is defined in this manner, is defined as angle subtended by the image while using the instrument. Okay, that's too bright. Yeah, angle subtended by the image while using the instrument upon angle subtended by the object to the unaided eye. Unaided eye means the eye which is not using the instrument. And the numerator we're going to call as beta, the denominator we're going to call as alpha. Now, if you look at the denominator is the angle subtended. Yes, Ayush. The denominator is the angle subtended by the object on the unaided eye. But what we have decided to say ki whatever angle the object may be subtending on the eye, it subtends the same angle on this lens over here. It subtends the same angle on the objective. Why? Because technically, if you look at this in context of where the light is coming from, the light is coming from a far off object. And in comparison to how big this distance is, you'll find that the telescope is negligible in size. Now, because it's negligible in size, it's as good as a point. And therefore, the angle subtended at this end of the telescope and at that end of the telescope where your eye is more or less the same. That's why we're going to say that the angle subtended by the telescope on the unaided eye is the angle subtended by the the angle subtended by the object on the unaided eye is the same as the angle subtended by the object on the instrument. Got it? यहाँ तक हमने last class में discuss किया था, है ना? Any doubt in this? यार, अरे, some reason the undo option is not working in the app. Let me just fix that. See? Angle subtended at the eye and at the front of the telescope, both are going to be roughly the same. All right, cool. So with that, let's have a look at our astronomical telescope. So the diagram is going to look something like this. You're going to have an objective which looks like this. And as you have seen in maybe in movies, maybe in photos, can I show the previous page? Previous page, dekh lo abhi. Let me know if you have any doubt from this page before I proceed to the next page. Okay? Done. One of you is asking, are we going to start thermo after this? Not right away. We're not going to rush into thermo. Maybe the next class, we may just take some doubts from ray optics and discuss some doubts from your HCV as a class. maybe after that we'll start thermo. So we're not going to rush into thermo this week. Okay. I don't think other batches have finished optics yet, so we're not going to rush into thermo. And we'll do a revision as well of all the formulas. वो भी कर सकते, ठीक है? तुम एक बार ये देख लो, कहाँ गया अपना? हाँ, माइक्रोस्कोप का एक बार डायग्राम बस देख लो. You would notice कि for a microscope the objective is smaller, है ना? And I mean, I'm sure you have seen diagrams of microscopes either in cartoons or in or a more actual diagram. You might have always seen that the lens closer to the eye is bigger than the lens closer to the object. That's something you've seen for microscopes. And इसका logic भी हमने discuss किया था कि objective का focal length हम कम रखते हैं. अब यहाँ पे when it comes to a telescope, you'll find कि telescope कैसा दिखता है डायग्राम वगैरह में, ऐसा दिखता है ना? So typically you have seen कि telescopes का objective is bigger and the lens closer to the eyepiece is smaller. All right, so that's a good way to remember. Telescope का objective is bigger, lens closer to the eyepiece is smaller. इसका logic है और logic कुछ देर में दिखेगा. In fact पूरा derivation के बाद जो formula आएगा वो formula देख के logic तुम्हें दिख जाएगा, ठीक है? So right now let's say this is our telescope with a big objective and a small eyepiece. Now I'm just going to mention over here that your objective has larger focal length. Your objective has larger focal length and larger aperture as well. Larger focal length and larger aperture. Okay, so please remember key focal length and aperture will go hand in hand. If you use a lens of bigger focal length, you may most likely use a bigger looking lens. Okay? You may use a lens of bigger aperture. All right. So larger focal length and larger aperture is for the objective, and smaller focal length, smaller apertures for the eyepiece. Now, our object is far away. Okay. So let's say, I mean, so far that it's ridiculous to draw it on this diagram. I can't really draw it on this diagram. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to draw this ray. Yeah. So rays coming from the object are going to appear parallel. Okay? Rays coming from the object are going to appear parallel. Now, nonetheless, let's say the object, ends up subtending some angle like this. It ends up subtending some angle alpha. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा और छोटा बना लेता हूँ. Ends up subtending some angle alpha, ठीक है, on the objective. And remember, these are parallel rays, so it's going to more or less subtend the same angle and the eye as well that is over there. But let's say it's subtending this angle at the objective, and we have decided that this is our denominator in the formula for magnification. The angle that we see it subtend at the objective is the denominator, is the angle that the object subtends on the eye as well. Okay? The angle the object subtends on the telescope is the angle the object subtends on the eye because it's far away. So this is our denominator, this is alpha. Now let's say this forms its image somewhere. Where is it going to form its image? Given that the object is far, far away, image कहाँ पे बनेगा? At the focus. Very nice. So like last time, the image of course is formed at the focus, and we are going to call this distance FO, yeah, F naught, where O stands for focus, yeah, focal length of the objective. Okay? So at the focus of the objective, you're going to find that at the focus of the objective, you're going to find that this image is formed. So let's say our image now looks like this. This is the first image that is formed, I dash. Now light is going to undergo, E stands for eyepiece. Yes, E stands for eyepiece. Now this light is going to undergo refraction through the eyepiece. All right. So the eye does not see this image because by the time the rays pass through the eyepiece, again refraction hota hai, again एक नया image बनने वाला है. अब we want to see the image formed. Therefore, this image that is formed due to the objective must lie within the focal length of the eyepiece. ठीक है, must lie within the focal length of the eyepiece. याद है, क्योंकि सिर्फ जब ये जो image है, only when it lies within the focal length of the eyepiece, only when eye dash, which is going to behave as the object for the eyepiece, only when that lies within the focal length of the eyepiece, only when it lies ahead of the focus of the eyepiece, सिर्फ तभी virtual image बनेगा, है ना? सिर्फ तभी virtual image बनेगा, है ना? So if I need to see the image formed after refraction through the eyepiece, what I need to do is I need to ensure कि ये FE के आगे लाई करता है. So I'm just going to zoom in a bit. ये FE के आगे लाई करना चाहिए. जब आगे लाई करेगा तब कैसा इमेज बनेगा? So then you start drawing this line. One of you is asking, how do we ensure such things? The length of the telescope, the person making the telescope is going to take all of this into account. The person making the telescope is going to take all of this into account. है ना? So for instance, the length को तुम जब FO plus FE से कम रखोगे, length को FO plus FE से कम रखोगे, तब definitely image FE के आगे बनेगा, है ना? So there are ways to ensure that this happens. Okay. Now, हाँ, अब इसका image कहाँ बनेगा? So now we know virtual image is formed. Let's say इसका image is randomly formed somewhere. So let's say इसका image is randomly formed finally at this coordinate. Remember, a virtual image is going to be formed at the same side, and the way we can see how that virtual image looks is by drawing this line. So draw this line passing through the center of the eyepiece, and because we have a virtual image, we'll have to extend this line backward. And as we extend this, miss the center, as we extend this line backward, we're going to see that our image is formed over here. This is where a final image is formed. Cool. So this is the final image that the eye gets to see. This is the final image that the eye gets to see. Clear? This final image subtends what angle at the eye? So it subtends an angle of beta at the eye, you know, by the definition. Subtends an angle beta at the eye. So beta in this diagram will have to be this angle. ये angle को beta बोलना पड़ेगा. ये angle को beta बोलना पड़ेगा. Okay. Now, as you can see from this diagram, alpha is greater than 0 and beta is less than 0. है ना? Let's assume the convention ki above the axis is positive, below the axis is negative. Alpha is greater than 0, beta is below the axis, it's negative. यहाँ से जब magnification निकालने जाएंगे तो magnification भी negative आएगा, and that makes sense to us. क्यों? Because diagram से क्या दिख रहा है? Diagram से ये दिख रहा है ना कि image inverted बन रहा है. We can already see from this diagram कि we are getting an inverted image. All right, so finally the image is inverted, which of course is not a very big deal when you're observing planets and all. क्या फर्क पड़ता है planet सीधा बन रहा है, inverted बन रहा है, ना, as long as you can see it properly. So अच्छा, ठीक है, that's that. Let me just check this out. Yes, yeah. So one of you is asking, let me read this out. He's saying distance between objective and eyepiece is small, so we are approximating alpha to be equal to the angle subtended at the objective exactly. By definition, angle subtended at the eye was alpha, but because the objective and the IPs are so close to each other in comparison to where the object lies, the objective and the IPs are very close to each other, and because they're so close, the angle subtended at this end at the IPs is the same as the angle subtended at the objective. That's why we're taking the angle at the objective before any refraction and all goes on. We're taking that angle to be alpha. ठीक है, उसके बाद वाला ऑफ कोर्स अल्फा नहीं होगा क्योंकि रिफ्रैक्शन हो गया, बेंडिंग वगैरह होने के बाद angle will change. So this angle is alpha, the first angle is alpha, second one is beta. I hope that's clear. Okay. Alpha is positive, beta is positive. Let's define h dash and h double dash. Okay, so let's just take this as h dash and let's just take this as h double dash. Okay, now let's see what all we are getting from this. Let me define a few more terms. Let's take this length. Acha, this behaves as the object for the eyepiece, and this guy behaves as the image for the eyepiece. So based on that, let's just define two more terms. Yes, let's define this as UE, object ka distance from eyepiece. You guys are getting the idea now. And similarly, where do I fit this in? Let's define this term as VE, image ka distance from the eyepiece. Okay. Object distance for the eyepiece and image distance for the eyepiece. Okay. Based on this, alpha क्या है, beta क्या है, देख लेते हैं. ठीक है. Now please remember कि h dash, h double dash, UE and VE are all distances. Okay. This is just something I'm following while making this derivation. H dash, h double dash, UE, VE are all distances. They represent distances in my derivation. Okay. Therefore, they're all positive. I'm taking them to be distances and not coordinates. Okay, they're all distances. Now, based on this, alpha कितना आ रहा है? डायग्राम से देखोगे तो अल्फा कितना आएगा? मुझे एक चीज यहाँ पे दिख रहा है कि if this angle to the left is alpha, then this angle over here is also alpha. This angle over here is also alpha. So from that triangle, can you tell me what alpha is going to be from this triangle? Very nice. Say it. And remember, in this story, you may say, chalo, you may say tan alpha is h dash by f naught, but remember ki all these angles are small. Alpha, beta, they're all small angles. Why? Because the situation in which we'll be using a telescope would be such that the object is looking tiny, it's subtending a small angle. That's why we need a telescope to look at it. So from this diagram, those who are talking about tan and sine, most probably are not using the approximations. Yes, it is true that tan alpha is from the diagram h dash by fe. Okay? But what we're going to do is we're going to say कि this is approximately equal to fe galat bola. I'm sorry. Tan alpha from the diagram is h dash by, थोड़ा ध्यान से देख लेते हैं. This is h dash. This length is fo. So h dash by fo. Right? So tan alpha is h dash by fo. But we're going to take tan alpha approximately to be equal to alpha. Okay? So no tan alpha, no tan beta and all, just strictly work with alpha beta. Why? Because these angles are small. Same story for tan beta as well. These angles are small. Alpha is h dash by f naught. And should I place a minus sign over here? Should I place a minus sign? H dash is positive, FO is positive, alpha is positive, no need for a minus sign. This equation is perfectly fine. This equation is perfectly fine. Got it? Similarly, ठीक है? Similarly, beta का देख लेते हैं. So what about tan beta? Very nice, Shreya. Perfect. Yes, Poona, close. But we need to think about the sign a little bit. So tan beta, of course, we'll finish the story over here. Tan beta is approximately the same as beta because beta is also going to be small. And beta, therefore, can be written as h dash. Look at the triangle. Look at the triangle carefully. This side is h dash. This side is actually UE. You know? So tan beta is h dash divided by UE. But let's think about the sign. Let's see if everything is correct from a sign perspective. H dash positive है, UE पॉजिटिव है, बीटा टेक्निकली नेगेटिव है क्योंकि ये एंगल नीचे आ रहा है. तो बीटा का मैग्नीट्यूड H dash by UE है, but because beta is negative for the sole reason that is below the axis, what will we write over here? We'll put a minus sign. Why? Because beta is negative. Okay, that's why I'll put a minus sign. Got it? So this is our equation for beta. You may say ki beta is also H double dash by VE. That's also right. That's also right. Beta is also H double dash by VE. In fact, ये तो definition हो गया. Angle subtended by the image. So beta is also negative of H double dash by VE, but is also negative of H dash by UE. And this equation is going to be more meaningful to us because you know what's going to happen next. आगे जाके बीटा अल्फा को डिवाइड करना है. डिवाइड करते वक्त we want to get rid of this h dash. है ना? H dash has no meaning to us. So that's why we're going to use this formula which involves h dash. Okay? And over here I'll just again mention कि alpha and beta are small. Alpha beta are very small. They will be small in the context in which you try to use a telescope. Okay? Alpha is greater than 0. The convention is just this कि alpha तो axis के ऊपर है, hence alpha is greater than 0. Beta axis के नीचे बन रहा है, hence इसको lesser than 0 ले लिया है. See? You just define angles above the axis to be positive. See? And that also helps us understand कि when I divide them, my magnification comes out to be negative, which is true because what am I seeing? I'm seeing an inverted image being formed. Beta negative है, मतलब बोल रहा है कि image inverted है in comparison to object कैसा था. Vertically, yeah, so these angles, these are opposite angles, right? इनमें sign कुछ change नहीं हुआ है. So that alpha and this alpha both are the same. Alpha positive है, beta negative है. ठीक है, यहाँ पे अंत में माइनस साइन बस प्लेस करना है या नहीं प्लेस करना है, वो ऐसा सोचा कि h dash f naught alpha तीनों ही पॉजिटिव है, so there's no need for a minus sign. यहाँ पे h dash and UE पॉजिटिव है, yes. यहाँ पे h dash and UE पॉजिटिव है, बीटा नेगेटिव है, बीटा का मैग्नीट्यूड h dash by UE दिख रहा है, magnitude h dash by UE दिख रहा है, but because I know it's negative for the sole reason that this is below the axis, we'll say beta is negative h dash by UE. Okay? Got it? All right. Okay, so now let's just find our magnification. So magnification कितना आएगा इससे? So magnification is defined as beta, angle subtended by the final image, divided by angle subtended by the object on the unaided eye. So beta by alpha. Beta, as we saw, is negative h dash by negative h dash by UV. Alpha is h dash by FO. So negative h dash by UE and alpha is h dash by FO. Okay, this is also the reason why we picked the formula for beta involving h dash, because we wanted h dash to cancel out. It has no meaning for us. It's not relevant to us practically. अब divide करने पे ये क्या हो जाएगा? This becomes minus f naught by UE. So magnification is minus f naught by UE. Minus f naught by UE. Okay, that's the magnification of your telescope. Okay. थोड़ा सा सिमिलर लग रहा है ना उसके? नहीं, एक्चुअली नहीं लग रहा है, कुछ नया ही चीज है. Magnification is minus f naught by UE. Okay. Any doubt till this stage? No. Now let's think about our maximum magnification, like we thought about last time. Like we thought about this last time. Let's think about our maximum magnification. So if I want maximum, in fact, let me start from minimum. If I want minimum magnification, what will I have to do to UE? ये आर्ग्यूमेंट तुम्हारा सिंपल माइक्रोस्कोप के आर्ग्यूमेंट के बराबर ही है. सिंपल माइक्रोस्कोप में d by u ऐसा कुछ आया था, d by u. यहाँ पे भी वैसे ही कुछ कांस्टेंट by UE. अगर मुझे मैग्निफिकेशन को मिनिमाइज करना है, एंड by minimize I mean ignore the minus sign, ठीक है? I'm just talking about the magnitude, of course. मैग्नीट्यूड को मिनिमाइज करना है, मैग्नीट्यूड को मिनिमाइज करना है. ये माइनस बस बता रहा है कि इन्वर्ट हो रहा है. सो अगर मैग्नीट्यूड को मिनिमाइज करना है, यस यू आर सेइंग कि एफ नॉट को कम करना पड़ेगा, दैट्स फाइन. एफ नॉट को, बट लेट्स से कि एफ नॉट को वैसा का वैसा रखेंगे, यूवी को चेंज करना है, तो व्हाट कैन वी डू? यस, व्हाट कैन आई डू टू यूई? शुड आई make it as large? Yes, I need to make it as large as possible. तो UE को maximize करना पड़ेगा. UE denominator में है, so I need to maximize UE. अब maximize कर करके UE कितना हो सकता है? What is the max value this guy can have? Zero to minimum. What is the max it can have? Very nice. F. It cannot lie, and specifically FE. The object cannot lie beyond the focal length of the eyepiece, because if it lies beyond the focal length of the eyepiece, you are never going to get a virtual image. है ना? eyepiece के लिए जो object है उसको focus के आगे lie करना चाहिए. So UE must be less than FE. UE must be less than FE. See, UE must be less than FE. Fair enough. So if UE is less than FE, maximum value of UE is FE. So when we have maximum UE, UE is equal to FE. In this condition, when the object for the eyepiece is at the focus of the eyepiece, where is the image going to be formed for the eyepiece, the final image that we see? So one of you is saying we studied this before. We didn't study this before, but yes, what you saw for a simple microscope was very similar. So yes, if the object is at FE, the image due to the eyepiece is going to be formed at infinity. All right, now because the image is going to be formed at infinity, will your eyes be very strained or will your eyes be least strained? Eyes will be relaxed. Okay? Eyes will be least strained. Eyes will be least strained. Your eyes will be relaxed. Okay? These are all alternate ways in which a question can refer to the same situation. इसलिए मैं ऐसा slash डाल डाल के बोल रहा हूँ. These are all alternate ways in which a question can refer to the same situation. And finally, what is also a name for this condition? When your eyes are least strained, when you have minimum magnification, what is the name for this? Normal. Yes, this is the normal adjustment. Yeah, this is the normal adjustment of the telescope. So in your normal adjustment, what is going to happen? Your image is going to be formed at infinity. So we're going to label that as M infinity. And we have already figured out what UE is. UE is going to be FE. UE is going to be FE. So magnification is minus FO by FE. Magnification is minus FO by FE. ये रिजल्ट देख के डू यू रियलाइज नाउ कि ऑब्जेक्टिव का फोकल लेंथ ज्यादा होना था एंड देयर बाय ऑब्जेक्टिव का अपर्चर भी ज्यादा होना था. यहां से दिख रहा है ना, बिकॉज इफ FO इज नॉट ग्रेटर देन FE then there's no point, your magnification is less than 1. तुम्हें बिना टेलीस्कोप बड़ा इमेज दिख सकता है ना. Your magnification has to be greater than 1, only there is any point in using the telescope. So if the telescope has to make sense, if it has to be useful, FO has to be greater than FE. FO has to be greater than FE. This is the reason why FO is greater than FE for a telescope. Okay, so M infinity, when M minimum, yeah, normal adjustment wala M, yeah, when your eye is least strained, that M is going to be minus FO by FE. Simple. Let's see what maximum magnification will be. In fact, would anyone want to try that? Can I explain why FO is greater than FE? Yeah, very simple यार. ये magnification अगर 1 से कम होगा, अगर magnification 1 से कम आएगा, then there's no point, right? Using the telescope makes no sense, because look at the definition of magnification. है ना, definition ये है कि you're comparing telescope क्या करता है to directly आंख से क्या दिखता है. अगर magnification 1 से कम आ रहा है, तो दैट मीन्स टेलीस्कोप का जरूरत ही नहीं है, आंख से ज्यादा दिखेगा, आंख से ज्यादा बड़ा इमेज दिखेगा, है ना. सो यू डोंट नीड दैट टेलीस्कोप. Cool. So your magnification definitely has to be greater than 1, and which is why FO must be greater than FE. ठीक है. Alright. बाकी तो तुम्हें कार्टून से भी याद है कि योर ऑब्जेक्टिव का लेंस लुक्स बिगर देन दी आईपीस का लेंस. दिस इज M infinity. Since we have some time, we are almost towards the end of the chapter. Let's see if you've gotten the bigger picture now. And can you try finding MD? I don't want you to guess the value. Okay, most likely the guess would be wrong. MD का derive करके देख सकते हो क्या? Based on what we discussed for a simple microscope. थोड़ा सा गलत श्रेया, थोड़ा गलत. What you said, should that be UE or VE? You just try to derive this. Just take 4 to 5 minutes. Let's see if you can derive it. Just challenge yourself. Yes, Aman. तन्मय एग्जैक्टली वैसा नहीं आता है, थोड़ा अलग है. यस, पूर्णा सही है. Aman, when the chapter ends, we are gonna maybe just revise some formulas and discuss any doubts. तो next class में थोड़ा doubts वगैरह discuss करेंगे HCP से. एक बार formulas revise कर लेंगे. If there's any extra question type, extra point, थोड़ा बहुत देख लेंगे. Sorry, it's not FO. So I'll walk you through it slowly. Okay? Keep trying to derive. Yash. I think close. I think the F that you've put, I think that stands for FE. सही है. Good. Okay? So those who didn't get it, तो मैं थोड़ा सा hint देता हूँ to get started. Like, let me start labeling this. What are we trying to find? We are trying to find maximum F. Maybe ऐसा करते करते कुछ याद आ जाएगा. Maximum F निकालने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. Maximum F will take place when I have minimum F क्यों बोल रहा है? Maximum magnification निकालने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. Maximum magnification आएगा when I have minimum UE. अब UE, remember what we argued? Why can't I keep decreasing UE? Why can't I just make UE 0? जितना कम चाहिए उतना कम क्यों नहीं ले सकता हूँ? What is the problem? Yes, sorry. The problem is as you decrease UE, yes, as you decrease UE, VE also decreases. And there can come a point where your VE reaches your near point. Yani ki VE becomes equal to D. VE is not allowed to be lesser than D, because if your image is formed at a distance lesser than D, then your eye will not be able to see the image properly. So VE has to be greater than D, greater than 25 centimeters. ये फाइनल इमेज जो बन रहा है उसका डिस्टेंस आंख से 25 सेंटीमीटर से ज्यादा होना चाहिए. So when I keep decreasing this guy also decreases. And when I use minimum UE, that minimum value of VE achieved should just be equal to D. Should just be equal to D, because VE cannot be lesser than D. VE cannot be lesser than D. Okay. In this situation, you will say ki since this is the closest that the object can be towards the eye, please remember, as you bring object closer and closer, your eye gets more and more strained. Your eye muscles have to change the focal length of the lens to somehow make a clear image be formed on the retina. retina, है ना? So as you bring the object closer and closer, your eye gets more and more strained. So this is also the condition where your eye is most strained. And इसको कोई special नाम नहीं है. This is not normal adjustment. It's just the condition where your eye is more strained and where you have maximum possible magnification, where your image is formed at D. Based on this, can you try to find MD? I think two of you got it. I'm sure the rest can do as well. This is now simply a question on optics. Remember, magnification is F by UE. VE पता है, UE नहीं पता, तो तुम्हें लेंस फॉर्मूला यूज करके UV निकालना है. कर लो, come on. Yes, आयुष सही है. Sorry, it's not that. F naught by D minus FE नहीं है. VE minus F by VE नहीं है. देख लेते, let's see what we do. ठीक है, minus D by FE minus D भी नहीं है. Just see if you're doing the same thing. फंडा क्लियर है, मुझे कैसे तो भी UE निकालना है, बिकॉज मैग्निफिकेशन के फॉर्मूला में UE होता है ना? तो UE कितना है वो निकालना है. नाउ in order to do this, I'm going to use my lens formula. So my lens formula says 1 by V minus 1 by U is 1 upon F. And since I'm working with what do you say? Since I'm working with the eyepiece, and since these are coordinates, I need to be substituting them with the sign. So let's just have a brief review of the diagram. What does the diagram look like? So in our diagram, this was the scene. Our UE, our object, was on this side, and our image was also on this side. See, this is how our diagram looked. Object भी एक तरफ, image भी negative side पे ही, है ना? Whereas our focus is, for a convex lens, of course, the focus is going to be positive. So now, based on that, 1 by V, so V is going to be negative of D. क्यों? Image का coordinates negative है, it's on the negative side. Similarly, U is going to be negative of UE. U is going to be negative of UE. And finally, F is going to be focal length of the eyepiece. No problem over there, because focal length of the eyepiece is anyways positive. It's a convex lens. यहाँ से क्या result आ रहा है UE के लिए? So this guy is negative. I'm going to take this over to that side, and this term is positive. I'm going to keep it as it is. So I get 1 by UE is 1 by D plus 1 by Fe. Okay, very similar. You almost have the same derivation for a simple microscope. Take the LCM, you're going to get this, and that's it. You have your result. You have what UV is. You have what UV is. In fact, ठीक है, मतलब लिख सकते हो ऐसा, या उल्टा नहीं भी करना है तो भी चलेगा. मैग्निफिकेशन एनीवेज क्या था, यूवी एनीवेज डिनोमिनेटर में था ना, तो अपना मैग्निफिकेशन वाज FO बाय UV. तो मैं उल्टा नहीं करना है तो भी चलेगा. FO बाय UV. FO बाय UV मतलब FO into 1 by UV. So just multiply both sides. Look at what you get when you multiply both sides. Please remember, this was FO and this is FE. So they are not going to cancel out as such. So when I multiply both sides, sorry if I'm not reading the chat, I'm just typing this out. Okay, if I multiply both sides, FO into D plus FE by D FE. This is the result we get. इसको थोड़ा और rearrange करके ऐसा भी लिख सकते हैं. MD is FO upon FE. FO upon FE. And D से जब divide करोगे 1 plus FE by D. If you want to remember it this way. FO by FE on 1 plus FE by D. See, there is no minus sign. Let's check what happened to a minus sign. V was minus D, U was minus UV, F is as it is. Now 1 by minus D को हमने ये जो negative था उसको वहां पे लेके गए तो वो positive हो गया, और अपना UV जो था, UV anyways positive था because it had 2 minus signs with it, तो positive ही रह गया. So at this stage all minus signs have disappeared. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, so हाँ यार, ये वाला था, sorry. हाँ, M is minus FO by UV, वो minus sign है. Yes, my bad. Definition में ही minus sign है. हाँ. ये फॉर्मूला में ही माइनस साइन है, वो रहेगा. So this is our result. See, this is our result. And just to summarize that result, इसका summary एक बार देख लेते हैं. In fact, this looks a lot like the previous result. बस फर्क क्या है, ये भी minus FO by FE है और वो भी minus FO by FE है. And the only difference is this has that extra term 1 plus FE by D. 1 plus FE by D. So to summarize, our magnification, which is anyways negative, lies between इसको एक्चुअली मैं जो माइनस साइन इग्नोर करके बोलूंगा, ठीक है. सो लाइज बिटवीन नहीं यार, ये मैथमेटिकली थोड़ा गंदा हो जाएगा. तो आई जस्ट से कि आर मिनिमम मैग्निफिकेशन, maybe I'll just write it this way: our minimum magnification and our max magnification. Our minimum magnification occurs at M infinity, max magnification occurs at MT, and here I'm just talking about the magnitude. Okay, एंड m इंफिनिटी का वैल्यू है minus FO by FE. It's easy to remember. This is the reason why FO has to be greater than FE. And इसका magnitude है FO by FE into 1 plus D by FE. मैं बोल रहा हूँ जब मैं when I am saying कि magnification is minimum, then I'm talking about the magnitude. ठीक है, मिनिमम मैग्निफिकेशन मतलब उसमें तो माइनस साइन इग्नोर कर लो, किसको तुम मिनिमम बोलोगे? जैसे ये आ जाएगा -4, ये आ जाएगा -5, मान लो -4x, मान लो -5x. अब इसमें किसको मिनिमम बोलोगे? प्लीज कंसिडर दिस एज योर मिनिमम मैग्निफिकेशन. ओके, कंसिडर दिस एज योर मिनिमम मैग्निफिकेशन. Because then minus is meaningless, then minus is just to tell you ki it's inverted. So when we talk about what is minimum, what is maximum, yes, I corrected that. That's going to be FE by D. Correct कर लिया. So when we talk about what is minimum, what is maximum, तभी तुम minus sign हटा दो, ignore कर लो. ठीक है? तब ऐसा ज्यादा negative कम negative मत सोचो. Ignore the minus sign. ठीक है? And that makes sense as well. Infinity पे जब बनता है, तब minimum होगा, D पे और ज्यादा होगा. You get a bigger inverted image formed. Okay. What else we saw? This is during this situation, our object lies at, sorry, where does our object lie? Yeah, object lies at the focus, and our image lies at infinity. Okay, I is least strained. And this is okay. Yes, this object is the object which was formed by the objective. This object is the image formed by the objective. The object for the eyepiece is the image formed by the objective. Okay? When I have maximum magnification, then ये अब result आता है कि UO is apparently at DFE by D plus FE. ठीक है? So telling me कि the object must lie between this range. Object का distance has to lie between this range. ठीक है? And VO is infinity and VO lies between, sorry, VO in this case is going to be D, telling me कि image का distance also should lie between this range. कुछ गलत लिख रहा हूँ ना यहाँ पे, ये UO और ये O गलत लिख रहा हूँ. I'm so sorry guys. Sorry. U is the object for the eyepiece. V is also the image for the eyepiece. Okay, I hope no one is confused anymore. UEVE. Okay? In this situation, this is most strained. Doesn't have any specific name to remember. Okay? All right. So based on this, let's just do one question. Formula yaad kar liya. Just take a minute to remember this now. ठीक है, minus FO by FE, and in general magnification is, general result चाहिए तो magnification is minus FO by UE. याद कर लिया? इस पे एक सवाल करेंगे. रेडी. इनफैक्ट एक लास्ट चीज करेंगे बिफोर कंसिडरिंग द सॉल्विंग अ क्वेश्चन. जस्ट आई वांट यू टू कंसिडर द लेंथ ऑफ द टेलीस्कोप. सो आई एम गोना गो बैक टू द मेन डायग्राम एंड तुम मेन डायग्राम से एक बार बता दो कि टेलीस्कोप का लेंथ कितना आता है. लेंथ ऑफ द टेलीस्कोप. Main diagram was on page 201. Look at that. Yes, Shreya, very simple. Yes, Ayush, yes. Again, length obviously is the distance between, no problem. Length is the distance between the eyepiece and the objective. And all the telescopes you have seen start with the glass over here and glass over there. तो eyepiece के और objective के बीच में जो length है वही telescope का length है. And क्या दिख रहा है यहाँ पे? Clearly seems to be FO plus UE. So telescope का length is FO plus UE. ये थोड़ा ध्यान देखो. It's not FO plus FE. Remember, FE was normally greater than UE, greater than equal to UE. So it's not FO plus FE, it's FO plus UE. Yes. See, the length of the telescope is FO plus UE. The length of the telescope is FO plus UE. And this length is subject to change. Q? Because as UE changes, telescope का भी length change होगा. In fact, क्या होगा telescope का length when in the situation where image is formed at infinity? Image is formed at infinity. UE का value क्या था when image is formed at infinity? UE was FE. So L infinity is FO plus FE. Okay, so when the image is formed at infinity, remember this subscript tells us where the image is formed. This is the least strained condition. So in the least strained condition, length of the telescope is FO plus FE. The least strained condition, length of the telescope is FO plus FE. Okay, so in this scenario, length of the telescope is FO plus FE. That's what we are trying to say. Okay, what is it going to be in the other scenario? Most strained वाले scenario में क्या होगा? It will be FO plus whatever this is. Yes, zero नहीं. Most strained में FO plus UE जो भी होगा, तो FO plus UE क्या है? D FE upon D plus FE. So your length can vary between these two extremes as you go from the normal adjustment to the most strained condition. Your telescope ka length is going to vary between these two extreme values. Telescope ka length is going to vary between these two extreme values. Okay. यहाँ पे भी लिखे ले. Any doubt in this? How could length be infinity? Length infinity नहीं है बाबा, length infinity नहीं है. ये least infinity का जब भी subscript तुम देखोगे ना, this subscript means image is at infinity. So image is at infinity refers to this condition which we talked about, least strain wala condition. Image is at infinity. M infinity again refers to image being at infinity. उस condition में object कहाँ पे होता है? UE कितना होता है? FE होता है. तो UE is equal to FE use कर लो and you get L infinity is FO plus FE. So one of you is asking, do you have a length controlling switch on the telescope? Yes, typically you can, not a switch, but in a telescope uh, you can rotate this kind of a screw type arrangement where you can rotate, I think one of the arms of the telescope comprises of two overlapping cylinders. Rotate करोगे तो as a screw length कम कर सकते हो, ज़्यादा कर सकते हो. The way you do it for a कैमरा का लेंस, है ना, घुमाने पे कैसा लेंस अंदर बाहर होता है वैसे ही माइक्रोस्कोप में भी ऐसे ही करते हो. ठीक. सो टिपिकली टेलीस्कोप का लेंस का फिर ऐसा सवाल बनता है. Alright, now just revise these formulas, just note it down or note it in your head, and we are going to attempt a question on this. ऑलमोस्ट कंप्लीट. एक क्वेश्चन तो कर लेते हैं इस पे. क्वेश्चन कर लेंगे इस पे. रेडी? ओके. ऑलराइट, सो let's say the focal length of the objective and the eyepiece are 50 centimeters and 5 centimeters respectively. बोलने का जरूरत नहीं है because you know which is which. But yeah, respectively. Find the range of the magnification, किस value से किस value. Also find the range of the length of the telescope. There'll be one more part, पहले इतना कर लो. Finally find the length of the telescope when blue वाला थोड़ा interesting है. Find the length of the telescope when the magnification is minus 11x. ठीक है. Yeah, let me also just solve this quickly. Yes. Ayush, Amey, Shreya, your answers are correct. Yes, Tarun, but you can substitute the value of D. Use the value of D. सही है, but D का value use कर लो. 'सायराम' सही है. लेंथ का आंसर एक लिमिट थोड़ा गलत आ रहा है शायद. 6/25 is wrong. हाँ, lot of answers come in. यश तेरा सही है. पहले दो. मैग्निफिकेशन तन्मय सेकंड लिमिट थोड़ा गलत लग रहा है. आयुष सही है. बाकी आंसर अमन थोड़ा कुछ गलत हो रहा है. वैल्यूज एक बार देख लो अच्छे से यहाँ पे. D is 25 guys. D is 25. ये रटना है तुम्हें. D is 25 always. D is 25. पूर्णा सही. एक मिनट. पूर्णा का पूरा. हाँ, सब सही है. यस, परफेक्ट. Yeah, I'll show you the third question. यश सही है. I'll just write out the answers. Some of you are writing. I mean, a lot of you are answering, so I'm not able to address everyone. Shreya sahi hai. You can just check your answer. I'll give you, of course, more time to solve. First answer is -12x और -10x के बीच में. ठीक है. 12 of course means more magnification, 10 means lesser, but mathematically we will still write it in this fashion. Okay? That's just the way it would be written mathematically. Okay? Although ये lesser than sign it, this is your maximum magnification. This is your minimum one. Minus just means inversion, but लिखने का तरीका ऐसा ही रहेगा. M less than -10, greater than -12. Implying M can be anything between -12 and -10. For instance, it can be -11. आंसर्स लिख रहा हूँ. इस दूसरे वाले का आंसर है थोड़ा क्रेजी. 325/6 से लेकर 55 तक. That is the answer for the second one, length of your telescope. And the answer for the third one is going to be 600/11. And everything was in centimeters in the question, so everything in the answer will also be in centimeters. Yeah. I'll give you about 1 or 2 minutes more just to see if you're getting this. Why x? Array, x is the unit of magnification. Yeah, it's written this way. X means times. जैसे फोन में zoom करोगे तो आता है ना 2x, 3x, 5x zoom, 10x zoom. So x is a unit used in the world of magnification. When you're using an instrument to zoom in, unit you just apply in front of that is x, where x means times. This means 10 times zoom, that means 12 times zoom. 12 times magnified. First class में भी हुआ था ये, है ना? Second, won't it be 50/3? 50/3. देख लेते हैं यार 50/3 कहाँ से आ रहा है तुम्हारा. अच्छा, should I just quickly solve and check the answers now? Think you may be done attempting whatever you had to attempt. ठीक है, तो जल्दी से देख लेते क्या आ रहा है. Magnification. All right, so MD, your maximum. MD के पहले M infinity निकालते हैं. Minimum magnification had this simple formula -FO/FE, and because FO was 50 and this lower one was 5, your minimum magnification is -10x. Your maximum magnification is going to be -FO/FE 1 plus FE divided by D. So that's going to be this part stays the same. Okay? This stays -10, and that becomes 1 plus FE was 5, D is 25. So 1 plus 1/5 is 6/5, and 6/5 into 10 is 12. Okay? So this becomes -12x. अंत में इसको लिखने का तरीका, of course, although this is your max magnification, है ना, just to write it in a mathematical way, in a proper way, it would look like you'd have to write -12 on the lesser side, -10 on the greater side. Was लिखने का तरीका, of course, है ना. M lies as a M as a number is between -12 and -10. So as a number, -12 is lesser. But practically speaking, -12 means greater zoom, greater magnification. Okay? So this is the answer to the first question. This is the rating of the telescope. This is what you may find written on the telescope. The next thing is the length. Okay, so the length. यहाँ पे लेट्स सी कुछ लोग का कुछ अलग वैल्यू आ रहा था. लेंथ का दो फॉर्मूला था. अगेन लेंथ व्हेन एट इंफिनिटी, व्हेन इमेज इज एट इंफिनिटी, object is simply at the focus of the eyepiece. This is a simple one because we have both values. So 50 plus 5, this is 55. I don't think anyone got this wrong. Some of you got the next one wrong. LD, technically the formula is FO plus UE. What does UE become? So if you remember lens formula वगैरह डाल के हमने ये प्रूव किया था कि UE becomes D FE by D plus FE. Let's see what this comes out to be. D FE by D plus FE. ये तो पहला टर्म तो 50 है. D FE 25 into 5 by 25 plus 5. So 25 plus 5 is 30. 5 by 30 is 1 by 6. So this entire thing becomes 25 by 6. इसका LCM तुम ले सकते हो and you will get 325 by 6. Yeah, roughly this is 4.166. So 54.16. Okay, this is 54.16. Telling us that our length lies between these two extremes. Okay, our length lies between 54.16. Yeah. That is like writing the fraction 325 by 6 और उसके बीच में lie करता है. Finally, I think the second one was a little bit more interesting because in the second one you had to find UE. The second one when they're telling you magnification is minus 11x. Let's just check whether a magnification lies between the right values, because ये चेक करना पता है क्यों जरूरी है? बिकॉज अगर तुम मान लो चेक नहीं करोगे ना, then there's a slight problem, because if you don't check, this is what am I going to do? I'm going to use this formula. Magnification is D by नहीं क्या था यार, minus F by FO by FE, नहीं minus FO by UE. ये फॉर्मूला हम यूज करेंगे. तो क्या है ना, even if I give a nonsensical value of magnification, like for instance I give you a value which is like this minus 14x, इसका भी आंसर आएगा, है ना? तुम सिर्फ ब्लाइंडली ये फॉर्मूला यूज करोगे तो इसके लिए भी UE का कुछ वैल्यू आएगा, but in reality this magnification is not possible. In fact, the value of UE that you get would most probably lie outside the range of FO and what is the other one? नहीं, would lie outside the range of FE and DFE by D plus FE, है ना? अब ये कैलकुलेट करने में थोड़ा एफर्ट जाता है ना, तो ये इसका ध्यान नहीं रहेगा अगर UE इसके बाहर लाई करता है. कई बार क्वेश्चन में ऑप्शन हो सकता है नन ऑफ दीज, मतलब मैग्निफिकेशन minus 14x का पॉसिबल ही नहीं है. सो वी नीड टू बी केयरफुल ऑफ दैट. minus 11x का मैग्निफिकेशन पॉसिबल भी है क्या या नहीं, वो एक बार हमेशा जस्ट हल्का सा चेक कर लो. Because as you might have realized while solving this question, solving the first part hardly took any time, है ना? No time went in figuring this out कि -10 and -12 के बीच में लाई करता है. तो वो निकाल के रख दो and then just see कि जो सवाल मैग्निफिकेशन यूज कर रहा है वो उस रेंज में लाई करता भी है या नहीं. अब इस केस में लाई करता है, तो -11x का मैग्निफिकेशन पॉसिबल है. Therefore, using this formula makes sense. And therefore, by that formula, what value do we get for UE? Look at that. UE is going to be minus FO by 11. Minus वगैरह सब हट जाएगा, है ना? Minus तो हट ही जाएगा. UE is going to be FO by 11. So FO by 11, in other words, it's going to be 50 by 11 centimeters. And once you get UE, then the length of your telescope in general is going to be, at a particular instant, it's going to be FO plus UE. So it's going to be 50 plus 50 by 11. LCM लेने पे 550 plus 50, this becomes 600 by 11. Got it? Any problem in this? All clear? Okay. Now your HCV mentions a couple more types of telescopes, but please understand, because that is not in your NCRT, your mains exam is not going to ask you questions on those types of telescopes. So you can omit them. You don't need to worry about them, as it's not in your NCRT. You can leave it out. Okay? So this is the basic idea. This is how an astronomical telescope works. This is what you should be ultimately concerned with. Your NCRT briefly mentions a reflecting telescope. डिस्पर्जन वाला पार्ट कोई पूछ रहा है, किसके लिए है? डिस्पर्जन एडवांस के लिए है. जो कुछ भी एडवांस के लिए है वो मेंस के लिए भी है. So when I said dispersion advanced के लिए है, that means वो मेंस के लिए भी है. बट ये ऑप्टिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स वाला पार्ट सिर्फ मेंस के लिए है, एडवांस के लिए नहीं है. okay? So reflection, reflective telescope. ठीक है? इस in this, for this specific thing, you don't have any numericals. You only have a brief piece of theory given in the NCRT. Okay? So there's no numericals in this. The NCRT has just made a diagram which basically looks like this. Yeah. So you're going to use a concave mirror. Light is going to come in like this. And because of this concave mirror, it's going to start converging. But even as it starts to converge, another mirror is going to be placed over here. So then what happens as it hits that mirror, it again gets reflected. And passes through the eyepiece over here. This is your eyepiece. See? So there'll be no numericals on this, because again, your NCRT does not give you any formula for this. Therefore, they won't ask any numericals on this. But just as a theoretical point, why are reflective telescopes used? So what are the advantages in using a reflective telescope? Advantages over a refractive telescope. Refractive telescope क्या होगा? The one with the lenses, yes, the one we just saw. The refractive telescope is the one using lenses, जो अभी अभी देखा, astronomical वाला. Okay, so if they use the word refractive, don't get confused. It just means a telescope using lenses. Okay, so astronomical telescope is a refractive telescope. So reflective में advantages क्या है? Just briefly, just know that it's just as a theoretical point. अगर कभी theoretical सवाल आ गया. So first and foremost, one advantage is that chromatic aberrations. So if you remember, I just briefly mentioned ki your focal length, when you use a lens na, typically chromatic aberrations are not present, या do not take place when mirrors are used. This is one advantage. So chromatic aberrations do not take place when mirrors are, my goodness, are used. Okay. What, if you remember chromatic aberration ke waqt I just said ki because your lens involves refraction, and because refraction mein f is typically क्या होता है formula, mu relative minus 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. So because of that mu relative, you'll find ki f is going to be different for different colors. है ना? F is different for different colors. Because F is different for different colors, what will happen? Clearly, फिर each color थोड़ा सा अलग अलग जगह पे focus होगा. And that's why the colors in the final image when you use a lens will not be where it should be. थोड़ा आगे पीछे होगा because refractive indices are different for different colors. Therefore, focal lengths are also different. Therefore, image का position, image जहाँ पे बनेगा, that's also a little different. Okay? Now, all of this will be avoided if you use a mirror, because mirror does not involve reflection. So this is just a brief idea of what spherical aberration is. Different colors have different focal lengths. Therefore, images for different colors are formed at different positions. Thanks for correcting. Yes, my bad. This is 1 by f, not f. Okay. And this is the idea. So chromatic aberrations एक तो avoid होता है mirror use करते वक्त. क्यों? कम होता है mirror use करते वक्त. क्यों? In fact, completely avoid होता है because mirror does not involve refraction. So mu का फंडा ही नहीं है. ठीक है? So it reflects all colors in the same way. So chromatic aberrations do not take place. That's one advantage. And a second advantage is, in general, when since you're going to deal with massive sized objects, providing mechanical support is easier. Mechanical support means holding the lens in place. You're holding the mirror in place is going to be an easier task if you're working with mirrors. Why? Because first of all, mirrors are lighter, as you can sense, है ना? Mirror का shape क्या है? इतना सा है. Lens क्या होगा? एक पूरा piece of glass होगा. So if you want to use big lenses, if you want to make a big telescope, big focal length, is going to be a lot easier if you use mirrors, because mirrors are lighter. That's one. Mirrors are lighter. See, they're lighter than a lens of the same optical power. Okay? And the second reason is because mirrors can be fixed. Can be supported along their entire back. So the entire backside of the mirror can be fixed to something. The entire backside of the mirror can be fixed to something. On the other hand, lenses can only be supported by the rim. So imagine if you use a convex lens, you have a massive convex lens. Moreover, तुम massive convex lens को सिर्फ ये points पे support कर सकते हो. So you can imagine how it's going to be a difficult task, how there is going to be heavy mechanical strain on those points holding it at the rim. So for that reason, when you want to use really large telescopes, reflecting telescopes are more advisable. So mirrors can be supported along their entire back, and lenses can lenses can only be supported along the rim, else you will interfere with the light. So they can only be supported along the rim. One of you is asking how thick should a mirror be. You don't need the mirror to be thick as such. It can just be a few centimeters thick as well. It would work. Thicker means, of course, stronger. Doesn't break easily. So you want very big mirrors, you'll use thicker glass. You'll not use a thin sheet of glass if you're making a mirror of that size. But the thickness of the mirror is just for it to have some body to it, so that it doesn't break easily. So that's not fragile. But otherwise, from from optics perspective, you don't really need very thick mirrors. Thickness is just so that it can have some volume, so that it can hold a shape, so that it's not fragile. All right. Mirrors are lighter. Mirrors can be supported along their entire back. So this is the advantage. The only small disadvantage that is there, the only small disadvantage that would be there is a portion of the field of view would be blocked. A portion of the field of view would be blocked. Yeah, I'm missing a word here. I'll just complete that. Portion of the field of view would be blocked. क्यों? यहाँ पे ये चीज आ रहा है ना बीच में, इधर एक वापस एक मिरर चाहिए ना इसको वापस भेजने को. So obviously, I mean, those particular rays are, that's like a blind spot. You'll not be able to see those rays. Those rays are not going to reach the eye. So, which in a way can be adjusted if you place this very close to the focus. You can use a small mirror. So accordingly, you can try to minimize the size of this blind spot, which is not reaching the eye. But that is one small disadvantage. Nonetheless, थोड़ा आगे पीछे angle adjust कर सकते हो. Advantages are far greater. The advantages are far greater in a reflective telescope. कोई बोल रहा है lenses are cheaper compared to mirrors. I wouldn't. I don't know. When you're dealing with objects of that size, I think making a massive lens, making a massive mirror, price is almost going to be comparable. And price is not going to be the biggest factor. I don't know why you say lens would be cheaper. Lens has more glass, right? More volume to it. So I don't know. I can't comment about the price. I don't know enough comment on the price, but yeah, this is the main reason. ये थोड़ा view block हो जाता है. Reflective telescope के बारे में इतना ही जानने का जरूरत है. And yes, we're talking about technical advantages. We are talking about कोई बोला check on lens card. We're talking about advantages. We're talking about differences which big institutions are going to consider, and they're not going to be concerned with price. They don't want to make mass production में telescope नहीं बनाना है उन्हें एक बड़ा telescope बनाना है once and for all अपने काम के लिए. So when they do that, I don't think they're considering price. They're considering functionality. They're considering how long it's going to last. And so on that note, I think that would be one disadvantage. And these are what are mentioned in the NCRT. So I'm just quoting in a way, paraphrasing from there. यहाँ पे क्या लिखने वाला था? I was saying कि F is different for different colors, because different colors have different refractive indices. So F is different for different colors. So because it's different for different colors, you have this thing called as chromatic aberration, which can be avoided. If you use mirrors instead. कोई हबल के बारे में पूछता है यार, I'm sorry, I'm not उतना जी के नहीं है, not looked into that. Just have a look at your Hubble telescope. You can check whether it's reflective. My guess would be it is reflective, given how far it is able to see. It would probably be a massive reflective telescope. Yeah, so the lecture's over. We are done with optics. We are not starting heat and thermo in the next class. For the last time, I'm repeating that. नहीं कर रहे next class में. Next class थोड़ा और क्या करेंगे? थोड़ा HCV के जो तुम्हारे doubts है थोड़ा discuss कर लेते हैं. एक बार formula revise कर लेते हैं together. And अगर कुछ और ऐसा extra question type रहेगा जो हमने देखा ना हो, वो देख लेंगे, ठीक है? So that will take the second class this week. And we'll start heat and thermo next week. Okay? There's no rush. It's not in your MT. Yes, you may have to Google that. I haven't looked into it. I just made up values in this question. Finally, chapter हो गया. Yes, बड़ा chapter है. Guys, एक chapter नहीं है. ऐसा मत सोचो कि एक ही chapter किया तुमने. Because on paper, this is a big chapter, and you can expect multiple questions from this. So don't consider this a chapter of the size of what is another chapter you've done? Kinematics will be bada hai. Friction. Don't consider this a chapter of the size of friction. Friction is small. One fewer number of concepts. This has lenses, prisms, dispersion, mirrors, and whatnot. So you can expect multiple questions to come from this chapter. And as I said, this chapter doesn't have a lot of depth. Once you get a hang around once you get an idea of the sign convention and how to use the formulas, you can easily score well in this chapter. Okay? So do it well. I mean, मेरे हिसाब से अगर mechanics का tough सवाल बनाना है तो they can make it pretty tough, but I don't think they can make optics very tough. You know, once you expose yourself to some decent level questions and you see different question types, उसके बाद optics typically उतना मुश्किल, उतना tough नहीं करेंगे. That is again the link for those who want it. Wave optics is comparatively smaller. Yes, wave optics is a lot smaller. One of you is asking, should you buy Iridove? I mean, yeah, if you are being a little ambitious, you can check out Iridove. Don't check it out for optics. You can check it out for mechanics if you want. If you have the time, definitely has a good collection of questions. Some of those questions may have already been some of those questions you may already find in your module. So your module has probably already copied some of the good questions from Iridove. बट हाँ, फिर भी देखना है तो देख सकते हो. If you want to know whether I used it, I did use it. I think I have used Iridove at my time for mechanics only. बट ये भी ध्यान रखो कि Iridove JEE oriented book नहीं है. So you are gonna have certain topics which are not in your JEE syllabus, and you'll have to keep your JEE syllabus open, or you maybe have to consult a teacher to um, check which topics are in the syllabus or not. कुछ एक आध या 5-6 क्वेश्चन पर चैप्टर सिलेबस के बाहर होगा, वो तुम्हें नहीं करना होगा. यस आयुष, आई थिंक हाँ, बुकलेट ने काफी उठाया है इरोडोव से. बाकी बुक्स ने भी काफी उठाया. इट्स नॉट जस्ट योर बुकलेट. HCV, Cengage, DC Pandey, they've all picked up questions from Iridove. Yes, हाँ आयुष, वही वाला. और भी काफी क्लासिक क्वेश्चंस जो है उठाया उन्होंने. Yeah guys, those who want to leave can leave. We're done the day. Welcome. आयुष तो शेयर कर सकता है, बट ऐसा मैसेज मत, सब लोग को डर के मतलब इरिडोव सॉल्व करना है, ऐसा रिएक्शन नहीं होना चाहिए. Solving the Iridove is not really for everyone. Yeah, so those who want to refer to it, they can have a look at that. In case anyone needs, you can share. Resnick and Halliday छोड़ दो. You don't need that at all. People say कि fundamental book है वैसे, but you really don't need it for JEE at all. A lot of good students have never read Resnick and Halliday. There's no problem. You don't need it. Uske questions are not relevant for JEE. You're going to spend a lot of time calculating. You have better books which will prepare you better for JEE. Yeah, so whatever theory is done in class, that's more than enough. Anything you feel is missed out in class, your HCV is more than enough. Any question types are missed out in class and the HCV, then maybe a second book like DC Pandey, they'll all be more than enough. You don't need Resnick Halliday. तुम्हें बाद में कभी बहुत इंटरेस्ट है फिजिक्स में, JEE के बाद तुम पढ़ सकते हो अगर मजा आता है, if that's how you wish to spend your holidays, but you don't need to do it now. You'll get better at physics only by solving questions, and books which can help you get better at physics are HCV, DC Pandey, booklet, Irodove. That's fine. That can be fine. If you have the time, free time में पढ़ना ही है तो पढ़ सकते हो. That's all right. If that makes you like physics more, you can do that. Good evening. Bye.